So you're thinking about starting an agency, or maybe you already have an agency and you want to make sure that you are in a profitable niche. Well, lucky for you, in today's video, I'm going to be giving you my exact formula for ensuring that you are in a profitable niche, whether you already have an agency or you're just looking to get one started. And really quick, if you don't know who I am, my name is Luke Del Priore. I'm one of the co-owners of a multi-million-dollar marketing agency that goes by the name of Del Priore Hospitality. So without further ado, how to pick a profitable niche. Now, question number one is going to be, is it a high ticket industry? Now guys, this goes without say. If you are working with someone that sells something that is of a higher ticket, $5,000 and above, I would say is a general guideline, it is going to be easier to deliver that person a return on investment from the services that you're providing, because you need to generate them less total business to generate a profit for their business. Therefore, you can generate them less customers and the customer can still be happy. Now, I want you to think about it like this. Let's say, for example, in your agency, you're gonna go out and you're gonna work with restaurants. And the average dish that a restaurant sells is $20. Let's say their profit margins are maybe only 10%. That means that they're only making $2 profit for every dish of food that they sell. If you want to charge that business a $2,000 retainer fee, think about how much food that business would actually need to sell to make money on the services that you're providing. Whereas if you're working with someone like, for example, a roofer, and their average roofing job that they do is $10,000 and their margins are 50%, they're going to make $5,000 for every roof. So if they paid you $2,000 to get one job, they got a return on investment. They're not unhappy with what you did. They're going to stay with you. So the first thing that I look at is it high ticket? Generally for me, I want to work with a business that can sell something that's either $5,000 or more. So just that alone is going to knock a lot of different businesses off the table. I would not advise to go into the restaurant industry. I wouldn't advise to go into anything low ticket. Now, the second question I ask is it growing? Is the total addressable market, what we call the TAM in business, actually growing? Now, guys, you can figure this out with a simple Google search. Let's say, for example, you're going to work with pool companies. Literally just Google, are pool companies growing and doing more revenue year over year? If the answer is yes, and they're growing by 10, 12, 15% a year, that's a good niche to be in, because the niche is growing and there's demand in that marketplace. If you dive into an industry where there is less and less demand, like for example, let's say newspapers. With the birth of new technology and AI, in my opinion, give it a couple more years, newspapers are going to be out of business. If I picked newspaper companies to be my niche, that's just a business that's generally shrinking and going out of business. It's not your job to save the industry. It's your job to help an already profitable industry grow. Remember that. Is it local and is it service-based? Guys, holy crap, this is probably the most important thing when deciding your niche within your agency. If you're a beginner, I would not advise that you go into something like helping other agency owners, helping e-commerce business owners, helping business owners that sell digital products. That is not going to be a good niche for you to dive into, and I will explain why. When you are working with someone that is already incredibly tech savvy, they're going to have a lot more scrutiny than a local service-based business owner that's maybe a little bit up there in age, and they really know their business. They're not worried about their paid ads or their cost per lead. They're more just worried about, is the service working and is it making me money? And I'll tell you firsthand, if you pick the wrong niche of people that don't respect the services that you provide because they feel like they could do them by themselves, you are going to be miserable. I'm telling you, you're going to be miserable. I would not advise you get into working with anybody that does not own a local service-based business. So good niches might be guys that do hardscapes, like for example, luxury landscaping. Maybe you want to work with a solar company. Maybe you want to work with businesses like this, where the business owner really just wants to focus on what they're good at, and they really want to hire a company like yours so that you can fulfill what you're going to do, and they will treat you as more of an expert. I would avoid any digital business owners when running your agency. That's personally something that I did, and that's one of the best decisions I made when starting my business. Is it a proven niche? Guys, I would advise if you're going to go into the agency space, you go into something that's not incredibly saturated, but I would go into something that's proven. And the reason I would go into something that's proven is because you don't need to be the first person that's done it. And for me, that gives me a leg up to say, you know what? If someone else has done this thing, I can do it. You're not an inventor. If someone else built, for example, like I said, a solar marketing agency to do $200,000 a month, you know that someone walked in your shoes and built it from zero. Therefore, you can do the same. And if the objective overall of your business is to get rich, then you can follow someone's guideline and their blueprint that they already built out, make it applicable to your niche, and then use that to grow and scale your income. Don't just try to be an innovator in a brand new niche, especially as a beginner. As you get more advanced, you can maybe look into different markets and dip your toe, see how it performs. But in the beginning, I would just go for something that's proven and keep it extremely simple. Are the business owners in the market that I'm diving into aggressively trying to scale? If most of them are not, I would avoid that niche like the plague. And is there a pain point in terms of lead gen? Is there a pain point in terms of lead follow-up? Is there a pain point in terms of quality of lead? These are the important facets and factors that I think about when it comes down to picking a niche, because if there is no pain, there is no solution to provide. Remember, every business solves a pain point. This microphone solves the pain point of needing good sound quality. The phone that you're watching this video on solves a communication pain point. If there's no pain, for example, if the business owners that you work with, they're like, yeah, I'm pretty happy with where I'm at, not really looking to grow. There's no pain. You can't sell them anything. So remember, the objective is to make money. You're only going to make money working with people that are looking to make more money, and you're going to be the person that helps them run their ads, perform search engine optimization, help them build good follow-up systems for their business so that they can make their business more profitable. So only go for businesses that have pain, that are looking to grow. If you can do some research and if you can find a niche that meets all those following criteria, it's high ticket, it's proven, there's pain, and you know that that's a niche that you could dive into, then stick with it. And that is another thing. Do not get OCD about your niche. That's something that I did in the very beginning of my agency. It was a massive, massive mistake. I would look into too many directions. I'm like, oh, there's so much money in this niche, but if I don't go after mortgage brokers, then I'm leaving all that money on the table. And oh my gosh. And it just became a friggin' mess. So whatever niche you find that meets all those following criteria, stick to, learn it, and become an absolute expert. And most importantly, do not try chasing two niches at the same time. You need to go for one so that you can productize your service and so that you can build a badass company long term. You need to have one niche, one client avatar that you help grow, that you become an absolute expert within. And what I'm actually going to do for you guys completely free, below this video, I'm going to attach a free Google Doc with 100 niches that you can look at. Now, I would advise you don't just take the Google Doc, pick a niche and be like, oh, that's my niche. That's perfect. Look at it as a guideline. Use it as something that you can model, that you can say, okay, maybe that's a good niche. Let me do more research. Maybe that's a good niche. Let me do more research. You use it as a guideline. Do not just simply take advice from anyone on the internet that says, this is the most profitable niche and this is what you need to go after right now, because that is a myth. You need to carve your own path. That's what all the most successful businesses do. Use it as a guideline for niches that have worked, that are proven, and then go make it your own. And if you're someone that's really looking to start or scale your agency to the next level, maybe you're at 6 figures looking to go to 7 figures, maybe you're just getting started, you can tap the link below for the modernscam.com, which is my private education company for marketing agency owners and new startup agency owners, where I give them my exact system on how to get clients, how to perform incredible service delivery for your clients, how to have sub 5% churn rate, how to upsell your clients, how to hire, when to make your first hire, how to scale that process, how to scale systems. Everything I've used to scale my agency, I'm giving to you in over 25 hours of pre-recorded content, plus weekly Zoom meetings, plus a network Q&A chat. We have guys in the group that are killing it right now, that have already gotten their first 10 clients. We have guys in there that are at 6 figures. We have some badass friggin' agency owners in there, and it is an absolute weapon of resource if you're looking to actually build an agency. So you can tap the link below, you can book a call, it's completely free, and you can learn more about our private education group and circle. That being said, I hope that helps you guys in terms of finding your niche, picking your niche, and finding a profitable path to building your own successful agency. Now go work.